In fact, I have a 7-year-old daughter named Rachel. And I wish you guys all could have been there with me about a year ago when she had to solve a problem. She and my wife had just come home from shopping at a toy store. And my daughter walks in with this big box. Now, inside of this box are about 300 pieces of laminated cardboard interlocking for building a Victorian-style dollhouse. And of course, when she walks in, what's the first thing she does? She opens the box and dumps every single piece all over the living room floor. Now, what I thought was really amazing was what was on the box. Those famous 3 words, the ones that say, some assembly required. I think to myself, 300 pieces on my living room floor, and they're saying some assembly required. Now, after Rachel drops all the pieces onto the floor, she stands there with her hands on her hips, and she looks at my wife and I and says, I think I'm going to build this all by myself. Okay. That's exactly what I said. Wow. Well, she dives onto the floor. She starts picking up pieces. The minute she does that, I grab the instructions. I take a look at them, and then I hand them to her because they look Japanese to me. But then she took the instructions and she looks at them. And she tosses them aside. And then she proceeds to do what many of you have done before. She looks at the pictures on the box and reverse engineers. She actually got off to a great start. Within just a few minutes, she already had the porch built. Shortly thereafter, the front door was connected. All of a sudden, windows started going up. She was on a roll. This is great. But about 75% of the way through, boom, she hits a wall. Actually, it wasn't a wall, it was more like a gable. Lots of gables. She was stuck. So she tries one idea and that doesn't work. She tries another one, that one doesn't work. She tries a third and a fourth, still no luck. Now, after watching her struggle like this over and over for about 20 minutes, I knew what all good fathers would do. I strapped on the cape. I dashed over to her and said, honey, let Daddy help you with that. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Exorcist? My sweet little angel's head spun like Linda Blair's. She looked me right in the eyes and she says, no, Daddy, I can do it. Folks, she was determined to find the solution no matter how long it took. But what do you think happened about 15 minutes later? Anyone? What do you think happened?
She walked away.
The gables rose, the roof was put on, the house was built. Now I will say, it is amazing what a little Scotch tape can do. But she finished the house. Now some of you might be wondering, well Jeff, what does your daughter's building this dollhouse and me having real adult problems have anything to do with each other? It has a lot to do with each other. Because the way you approach problems when you were younger and the way you approach problems now are completely different. You need to start getting back to the way you approach problems when you were a child. You need to start thinking about having more of an open mind. Don't go into something with a preconceived notion. You need to ask a lot more questions. You need to try new things. You need to take the time to actually work on trying to solve the problem. Many people don't do that right now. They will work on something for 10, 15 minutes and then just and give up. That's the real problem right there. If you take the time to work on solving these problems, you're going to find that they're going to become a lot easier, much more enjoyable, and not so mind-numbing. Albert Einstein once said, it's not that I'm so smart. I just stay with the problems longer.